So hello, this is a video showing you how to use the Schoology app. Okay, I've actually played it on my computer right now. I think that's the easiest way to actually upload lessons, but it's up to you if you want to use it with your iPad as well. I'm sure it works very similarly. So you sign up as an instructor. Once you've done that, it'll take you to this page. So you register, and then once you log in, you'll get to your your basic home page that they call. Okay. At the top, you've got upgrade, which is for people whose schools are buying the entire account. If your school has done that, then this actually is a lot better for you. But if it hasn't, then you can just go ahead and create a course. So you click on courses over there and click on create a course. So I'm going to call my course physics, and we're just going to call it section 1 or group 1. The subject area, obviously you choose, and the level that I have, I'm just going to choose level 11, grade 11 for now. Okay, and you create your course. That's it, it's in here now. So you've got a physics group 1. Okay, and now you can add materials to your course. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add a folder. Now, since we've been off school for a while, you might want to just start with week 1 again, but you might want to continue with the number of weeks that you're already at. So if it was for my school, for example, we would be beginning in week 9. So let me just write week 9. You can choose a color, okay, and then in the description it will be something like, dear students, please complete the work in this folder. Something simple like that. I'm sure you can be more creative than me. Okay, now here you can actually put dates in for when the students have access to the folder and when the students are not allowed to have the folder anymore. To be honest, I always leave this empty because they always want this work. And again, this is published. That means directly when I've done this, it will be published. I can put unpublished, which means that you can get something ready and keep it unpublished until the day or the week that you want to publish it. Again, you can make it published during the start date. You'll have to fill in a date here, and then obviously you've got a range as well of dates that you can publish it on if you prefer. So I'm just going to make it simple here and publish straight away. Now again, it's really easy. I'm going to go into the folder now and I'm going to add my materials. The first thing I'm going to add is an assignment, which is basically the worksheet that I want them to solve. So I'm just going to name it fluids. You don't have to put description every time, but you do have to add the file. Now, if your students are using iPads, then it's always a better bet to change your documents into PDF. But if you know that they all have computers, then you can just leave it as Word, as I have done over here. While that uploads, I'll show you the next one, which is called link. Now, if I know that the students are going to need a bit of help in this, or that I know there's a good video that they could watch or anything like that, I can link it with this over here. I can also add them some more resources. So maybe I have some more resources in my repertoire that might help them solve the worksheet. You can also add a resource in there. The resources normally have to be loaded in your own area, as you can see from over here. Okay, so I haven't loaded anything in here at the moment, so that's why I'm not going to attach from there. This is external tools. Once you click that, you can use different apps to put some work in for them as well. Over here, you're just going to put a due date, so I'm just going to put a week from today. 100 points means the maximum that you're going to give them. And now you can create a grading category. So you can call this, for example, classwork. Obviously we're changing to online learning now, so you can put classwork, homework. It could even go towards their lab grade or a project. You can choose over there what you want to do. Again, in this part I'm not going to put any grading period because it's just going to be the work. And then here you can actually have a numeric scale, so you're going to give it a mark out of 10 or 20. You can put a grade like an A or plus or minus, or you can put a new one. Now when you put a new one, which is what I've done before, it's really quite nice because you can actually use your AFL in this, and it's a nice way to mark actually, because they can actually get points for completing the work, and then you can get points for keywords are correct, meaning that they're spelt correct and used in the correct way, and then they get marks for actually the work is correct, so they've answered the questions correctly. So if they answer most of them correctly, you can give them a 3. If they're all correct, it's a 4. And obviously if they need improvement, you can use one of these two options here. I really like this idea of a rubric. We don't really have that in the British curriculum, but it's quite nice. And then once you've done that, you're ready, and you just click create. So now your assignment is ready. And they can see, the students can see, they're going to get points for work completed if their keywords are correct and the work is correct. So once they log in and they see that, they'll actually, it'll be hopefully in the back of their minds. Okay, I'm also going to add a file to this course. A file is maybe the PowerPoint that I would have worked through with them. So when I do the online course in Teams, I will actually read through this PowerPoint with them, make sure they understand. There'll probably be a few questions here and there, so that'll be the PowerPoint that I'll go through for this worksheet over here. And then I'm also going to add a test or a quiz. So I'm not going to be very inventive, just call it quiz 1. Okay, and obviously I've put the 16th for the assignment to be due, so maybe you can give them a couple of days extra to do that one. It's up to you entirely. Keep it as classwork because it's going to go same with the assignment that you've already done, and then you're just going to click create. I've kept a numeric scale there. On add question, again, it's quite self-explanatory. You just choose one of these options from here. The question banks will come from the question bank will actually come from the questions that you've already made up yourself, and you've added them to the question banks. So if you haven't got a question bank, you can just choose one of these options here. I'm just going to write here in here, all fluids are liquids, for example. So now they have to choose whether it's true or false, and obviously this answer here is going to be false, so I'm going to require them to write the correct thing. Fluids can be liquids or gases, for example. A subjective question is one that you will then grade by hand, or an objective question will be if they got the answer right, for example they chose false here, they will get the points there. Timed, you can actually time each question if you want. If you do choose a time for our learners, I would choose around 3 to 4 minutes at least, because they need time to read the questions, which some people don't realize, I don't think. Grading, then obviously you can choose how many points you want to give it. So if you have 10 questions and you want to make it out of 100 marks, you'd give each one 10 points. What's nice in Schoology is that it's got all of the it's got all of the options that you would normally have in Word when you're creating anything on Word. So you can add any of these things in, and the content one allows you to put images, a link to another website, symbols, equations, whatever you might need. If you are good with HTML, you can also put your own code in there. Okay, once that's done, that question is created. Let me just create that question first of all. And now I'm going to go into the settings section. Okay, these are the instructions. Okay, so students, you've got 2 days or whatever to do the quiz. Submissions, we're going to enable the submissions for the whole time, so they are available for whenever they need them for. I'm not going to put specific dates on because I've noticed sometimes students are late or early, and it makes it a little bit harder. For now, as it's all new to them, I would just put enable. Again, you can put a time limit if you want. This one is quite useful because you can give them an extra turn or two. Randomized order we use a lot because we'd like to keep the questions in different order so the kids don't have time to ask each other what's going on. If you put the order randomized, then it will usually be one question per page. You can add a language, which we won't use. And then question review means they can actually go over and check their questions if they want to. They can also stop in the middle and go back to it, and they can actually go back and check after they've answered you can actually put yes. They can just look at their answers, or yes with the correct answers. Now I've noticed with ours, one person will do it and the rest of them will check, and then solve it with the right answers. So normally I just keep that to a yes and then put save changes. So now you've actually got your settings sorted out. You can preview your quiz by starting a new attempt, and you can see that's how the quiz would come up for the students. So let's just put the wrong answer for now. Okay. Sorry, you can't do anything with that. Never mind. Okay, when the students do it, you'll be able to see. Okay. Once you've done this, you can then check for the results. So when the students actually give their answers in, you'll be able to see their attempts, what they got in their last attempt, and what their final score is. That'll go into your grade book. And you can also view by question rather than by student, so you can see who's actually got the right answer or not. So yeah, that's how to add a quiz. So I've explained how to add an assignment, add a PowerPoint, and add a quiz. I think that's enough for now. One final thing that I didn't mention at the start, which I should have, is this side over here. So the materials are what we're adding now, and right down here you've got the access code. This part is actually really important. When the students log into Schoology, they'll be asked for a code to log in, and this is the code that you've got to give them to be able to log in to your course. So once they have that code, then they'll be able to see all of these things that you've done. Now, this is a way of actually just placing all of your information online for them. And next I'll show you how to actually do a lesson with them online rather than just the work.